Welcome into New York Jets today. I am Tom Downey here with the latest around the New York Jets. Let's begin with the very surprising news that broke not too long ago. That is around B.J. Goodson, the linebacker. The Jets signed 8 days before, now retired after one game. Kind of weird that random New York players are suddenly retiring. Goodson signs, plays in week 2, and then says, you know what, actually, I'm out of here, I'm done, thus ending his very brief tenure with New York, and I guess his NFL career on top of that. Not entirely sure what went down with this one, like maybe behind the scenes, but he's no longer a Jets player. So with that in mind, give me your one-word reaction to Goodson's retirement. Surprise or surprising, I think is a pretty good one. If we did multiple words, the gif of well by would work pretty well on top of that. Weird is the one I'm going with, but I want to hear from you guys. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. It does leave the Jets, again, thin at the linebacker position. C.J. Mosley is playing. Yay, he's healthy. Other players, though, Gerard Davis, Blake Cashman on IR right now. Jamin Sherwood has been a bit banged up as well. The team hasn't been able to use him. With Mosley as the lead linebacker, the number 2 has been Quincy Williams, which he's bad, which I think we knew. If you get cut by the Jags, that normally means you're not a very good football player in most cases. Now, he's Quinnen's brother. Maybe he'll get better, but I'm kind of out on Quincy. Meanwhile, the kid that I liked coming out of Florida State, Hamza Nasirildeen, is still a bit of a work in progress. Look, for where he was drafted, that he's playing at all is probably a decent sign, but outside of Mosley, the Jets, in large part because of injuries, have not gotten great play so far. I had thought Goodson, on the right side of 30, mind you, was going to emerge as a nice piece in the short term at linebacker and eventually become a starter for this team, and I was wrong because he's already done in New York. Jets fans are getting closer and closer to 500 subscribers. If you want Jets content all year long, that includes the regular season and the offseason as well, hit that big red button and subscribe. It's free at youtube.com/JetsTV. Let's discuss Jamison Crowder and an interesting, intriguing idea here from Bleacher Report. They suggested the Jets should trade Crowder to the Cleveland Browns because, Jarvis Landry's hurt and Odell Beckham is back but also not fully back yet. It's weird. Crowder missed week 1 due to COVID, now dealing with a groin injury. I get the making Crowder a trade candidate idea because I think that makes some sense. Here's the problem, though, with any potential trade. He's got a $5 million base salary. There are some teams that could bring that on, but at this stage in Crowder's career, is that what you're looking for? I'm not so sure. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you want to trade away Jamison Crowder? Get your votes in the comments section. I think there are real arguments pro and con here. Why for yes and for no? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Now with Crowder out, Braxton Berrios, surprise, has been the lead Jets receiver, 12 catches, 124 yards, 0 touchdowns. He's fared pretty well in that slot receiver role. Corey Davis was great in week 1, non-factor in week 2, although we don't talk about week 2 anymore. Elijah Moore, who I love long-term, has been very, very quiet so far. I still list Corey Davis, wide receiver 1, Elijah Moore, wide receiver 2. Berrios is the backup to Crowder. I think the argument for keeping Crowder is that he's probably one of your top 4 or 5 receivers at minimum, and you want to give Zach Wilson as many weapons as humanly possible early on in his NFL career. You don't want to move on from him already. That's not a path that you really want to go if you are the New York Giants. You don't want to bail on those players already. And Crowder's older, so you could save some money by moving on from him in the short term. But again, you're not just focused on the short term or the long term. It's a balance of both. It would maybe get Braxton Berrios more reps. It would get maybe Denzel Mims, a whole different conversation, more reps. But if you think Crowder will make Zach Wilson a better football player, then maybe you don't want to bail on Crowder already. Again, he has not had a chance to play yet this season, but in the past he's shown very good ability. He's a good slot receiver, so you're juggling that While he's older, he's not going to be here next year. If you could get a draft pick for him at the trade deadline, I would consider it. Right this second, though, maybe a hold Crowder at minimum until he gets healthy, since no one wants to trade for an injured player anyway.